Hey, thanks for coming again. Appreciate you sitting down with me. And I just want to wrap up today with knowing that we've talked about a lot of stuff, a lot of things when it comes to communication and things that you can take and you can implement in your own life to try to take things and move them forward and get better and to be able to get more out of life because you can communicate better with the opposite sex. Now, here are a few things that I know as we've talked about all of the filters and all of the experiences and the definitions and how we value things differently and even the reason why we communicate. The thing that's really important to understand is that as you go out there, and I hope that you're inspired to go out there and start implementing these things in your own life, you're going to run into resistance. You're going to run into challenges. And it's very important to understand that there are a few things that you're guaranteed to hit as you move along. One of them is, I know and I understand that you probably have in your life, the same as everybody else does, people that are just deliberately hard to get along with. And I can't fix them, sorry, neither can you. So don't try to fix them, but just work on communicating with them as best you can. Some of them just won't come along, okay? They won't get on the bus and they won't go for the ride, but you do what you can to help those people out. Now, there are going to be plenty of people, though, that are going to be willing to engage with you and to do everything they can to get better at communicating. But as you go through this, you need to understand that sometimes there are things that people are going to be asked to do that maybe they're just not able to do. Maybe they don't possess the skill set to be able to get the things that you want them to implement and to get them done. But be patient, help them work through it, and if you need to, compromise a little bit, so long as the overall level of communication goes up. Another thing that we've got to pay attention to in that, though, is that sometimes the changes will be happening, but they just won't be happening as fast as we want them to. That can be a problem sometimes because we get impatient. We think that because we understand it or because we're moving at a certain pace, everybody else should be too. It just doesn't work that way. So we have to make sure that we're being patient, not only with ourselves, but with everybody else, and allow these things to take place, allow the process to get moving. You know, if I'm sitting here at 40 years old and I took all these years to build up my communication problems, I'm not going to turn them around overnight. You can't expect that of anybody else either. So be patient with them, okay? And as I look out here on our town square and I look at people walking by and understanding all the different communication things that are going to happen, we have to make sure that we don't overlook our own issues while we're seeking for other people to change. We've got to start with us. No matter what the situation is, no matter how bad we want somebody else to change for our sake, the first person that always has to change is us. So I want to encourage you, take these things and apply them to yourself first. Okay? Apply them to you. Start working on your level of communication. You be the example that you want other people to follow. You be the one that works hard, that gets out there and does the things that are needed to be done. The bottom line is, as with any change, as with any improvement, as with any learning, start with you. I start with me, you start with you. Use these communication tools to apply to your life and seek to serve others. That's going to make the biggest difference that you could possibly make, and you're going to be able to impact the world through the things that you do, starting with your own heart, with your own head, and your own communication. This is PJ McClure. Thank you so much for joining me for this little journey. I really appreciate it, and I really hope that you'll take these things to heart and you'll implement them in your own life. I wish you the best, and I want to encourage you to be your best. Thanks.